Title: The Seminole Wars, a struggle for freedom in the swamps of Florida. Introduction: a war like no other. The dense Florida wilderness stood as an untamed frontier, filled with towering cypress trees, vast swamps, and rivers that cut through the land like veins. It was here that one of the most prolonged and brutal conflicts in American history unfolded: the Seminole Wars. This struggle was not just about land, but about survival, identity, and resistance against a growing empire. The Seminoles, a proud and resilient people, refused to be displaced. They would not surrender to the relentless march of American expansion without a fight. The roots of the conflict. The Seminoles were a unique group, a blend of Native Americans, primarily Creek refugees, who had settled in Florida over the decades. Alongside them lived Black Seminoles, runaway slaves who found sanctuary among them. Together, they formed a society that stood in direct opposition to the American South's reliance on slavery and expansion. By the early 19th century, the United States was determined to seize Florida from Spain. When the U.S. acquired Florida in 1819, the fate of the Seminoles was sealed. White settlers, eager to expand their plantations, demanded the removal of the Seminoles. The U.S. government, led by figures like Andrew Jackson, sought to drive them from their homeland. The Indian Removal Act of 1830 set the stage for full-scale war. The Seminoles refused to relocate peacefully to lands west of the Mississippi. In response, the United States waged a relentless campaign to eradicate them. The First Seminole War, 1817 to 1818, Jackson's invasion. The first conflict erupted when General Andrew Jackson led an invasion into Florida, attacking Seminole villages and Spanish forts. His campaign was swift and brutal, burning settlements, executing captured warriors, and seizing Spanish outposts. Though the Seminoles fought fiercely, they lacked the resources to halt the U.S. advance. Jackson's campaign forced Spain to cede Florida to the United States. However, this did not bring peace. The Seminoles retreated deeper into the Florida wilderness, preparing for the inevitable next battle. The Second Seminole War, 1835 to 1842, Osceola's resistance. With pressure mounting for their removal, the Seminoles responded with defiance. Osceola, a charismatic young warrior, emerged as the face of resistance. He refused to sign the removal treaties and led daring attacks against American forces. The Dade Massacre. War begins. On December 28, 1835, Seminole warriors ambushed a column of 108 American soldiers under Major Francis Dade. Hidden within the dense palmettos, the Seminoles struck with precision, leaving only 3 survivors. This stunning victory sent shockwaves through the U.S. military and marked the beginning of all-out war. Swamp warfare, a new kind of fighting. The U.S. Army, used to open-field battles, was unprepared for the guerrilla warfare tactics employed by the Seminoles. The swamps, thick forests, and treacherous terrain provided a natural fortress. Warriors would strike suddenly, then disappear into the wilderness. Disease and exhaustion plagued the American soldiers, many of whom had never encountered such conditions before. Despite their fierce resistance, the Seminoles suffered devastating losses. Osceola was captured under a false flag of truce in 1837 and later died in prison. Without their leader, the Seminoles were gradually forced deeper into the Everglades. By 1842, the U.S. government declared the war over, but the Seminoles had not been completely defeated. The Third Seminole War, 1855 to 1858, the final stand. Though greatly reduced in numbers, the Seminoles were still not willing to leave Florida. Under the leadership of Billy Bowlegs, they launched raids against American settlements. The U.S. military responded with scorched earth tactics, burning villages and destroying crops in an effort to force the remaining Seminoles into surrender. By 1858, with resources exhausted, Billy Bowlegs and many of his followers finally agreed to relocate west. Yet, a small band of Seminoles refused to surrender, retreating deep into the Everglades, where their descendants still live today. Legacy: the war that never truly ended. The Seminole Wars were among the longest and most costly Indian wars in U.S. history. Though the United States claimed victory, the Seminoles never truly surrendered. Theirs was a war of survival, one that tested the limits of human endurance and resilience. The cost of the Seminole Wars was staggering. Thousands of lives were lost on both sides, and the U.S. government spent millions of dollars trying to remove a people who refused to be conquered. Yet, despite everything the Seminoles endured, their resistance became a powerful symbol of defiance, a story of resilience against overwhelming odds. Today, the Seminoles remain a proud people with a sovereign presence in Florida. Their casinos and businesses flourish, and their traditions are still practiced, ensuring that their culture is never forgotten. The swamps that once served as their battlefield are now their sanctuary. The war may have ended, but the Seminoles' fight for recognition, respect, and survival continues. The United States government, in later years, recognized the injustice of the wars and the forced removals of Native Americans. The Seminoles, along with other tribes, were eventually granted rights and sovereignty over their lands. But the scars of war remain, woven into the fabric of American history. Even today, when one walks through the Florida Everglades, the echoes of the past seem to linger. The whispers of warriors who refused to be broken, the memory of Osceola's defiant stand, and the enduring strength of a people who refused to be erased. The Seminole Wars may be over, but their legacy lives on, a testament to the unbreakable spirit of a nation that refused to surrender. The United States government, in later years, recognized the injustice of the wars and the forced removals of Native Americans. The Seminoles, along with other tribes, were eventually granted rights and sovereignty over their lands. However, these concessions came too late for many who had suffered through generations of hardship, betrayal, and loss. The scars of war remain, woven into the fabric of American history, a stark reminder of the resilience and suffering of the Seminole people. Even today, when one walks through the Florida Everglades, the echoes of the past seem to linger. The ancient cypress trees stand as silent witnesses to the battles fought beneath their sprawling canopies. The humid air carries whispers of warriors who refuse to be broken, their spirits moving like the mist that rises at dawn. The memory of Osceola's defiant stand burns bright, a flame that refuses to be extinguished despite the weight of time. His name is etched into the land, not just in history books, but in the very rivers and swamps where he once walked. The Seminole Wars may be over, but their legacy lives on, a testament to the unbreakable spirit of a nation that refused to surrender. Their descendants continue to honor the past, preserving traditions that have withstood the trials of time. From their thriving communities in Florida to the cultural celebrations that keep their history alive, the Seminoles remain a proud and enduring people. Their journey has not been easy, but their unyielding resistance serves as a powerful reminder that history is not just something written in books. It is alive, pulsing through the land, carried forward by those who remember. As the sun sets over the Everglades, casting golden hues over the water, it feels as though time stands still for a moment. The spirits of the past remain ever present, whispering their stories to those who listen. The fight for survival, the struggle for freedom, and the will to endure against all odds, these are the legacies of the Seminole Wars, forever embedded in the soul of America. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and become a part of our community. Here, you will find historical wars, inspiring stories, and unique content based on real events. If you want to see more engaging and fact-based stories, hit the bell icon to get notified about our latest videos instantly. Your support means the world to us. Leave a comment and let us know what topics you'd like us to cover next. Raising hands fire. Bell subscribe, share, and help us bring these incredible stories to the world.